Hello, it is Emily Christofferson, and I am broadcasting live with our series of the 10 things my most successful clients have in common. I'm celebrating 5 years as a full-time entrepreneur as of April 30th, and I've had the honor and privilege of supporting many other women in growing their businesses with smart strategy and focused execution. Today is number 3 of what my most successful clients have in common. And it's all around content. Part of this message for today is consuming content. So thinking about all of the freebies that you've downloaded, webinars you've been on, free challenges that you signed up, whether those have been useful for you and if you've been able to implement directly from what it is that you learned. Because here's the thing that I know in my own business, and I see with my clients too, that the last thing that you need is likely more information. It's doing something with the information that you have. Hey Stephanie, thanks for joining me live. So thinking about what it is that you're signing up for, whether it's free or whether it's a paid course, and asking yourself whether this is right for me in this stage of business. So I always talk about 5 areas that you need to focus on in your business to create revenue. And they are mindset, growing an email list, nurturing your community, making offers, and following up. So if you're signing up for something random, for example, Facebook ads, and you're not intending to do Facebook ads in the next little while, then it doesn't make sense and it's likely a waste of your time. Oh, went dark for me. And so you want to be asking yourself, is this the right stage? Is this the right time? Is this really what I need to be learning? And am I actually going to implement from it? Because like I said, it's rarely about getting more information. It's usually about taking action on the information you already have and being clear on the why. So why am I taking this action? How is this going to lead back to what my goals are? So that's some of the work that I do with clients in terms of deciding on their goals and then almost reverse engineering what is the strategy that will help them to get to those goals. And then what is exactly how? So exactly how are they going to do this? And that might look like coming up with different plans, strategies, deciding on content, building your list, and understanding how you're going to do that. And what that looks like for you, if you have a team member, what that looks like on a daily basis, a weekly basis, monthly basis, and so on. So my clients are really strict about the content that they are consuming. So when I ask them, they're not on that many lists. Or if they are, they have a way that they filter them, and perhaps they have a time set aside every week to go through the newsletters that they've signed up for or watch the webinars that they signed up for, that kind of thing. So I want you to be really conscious in terms of consuming content, and I don't care whether that is free or whether that is paid. I want it to make sense for you at the stage of business and the goals that you have for yourself. The other part of content is that you don't always need to be creating something new. So a lot of times we think that we just need to do more. Or I've had a client, for example, we were talking about building her email list, and she said, oh, I just need to make another freebie. I need to make more freebies. And that's not necessarily the answer. So sometimes it's you need to get more people to see what you already have. And I love the idea of looking at how much time you're creating content and then looking at how much time you're spending promoting or sharing or getting eyes onto that content. Because what happens a lot of times, especially with newer entrepreneurs, but I know I've been guilty of it myself, is that I put so much time in creating the content and then the promotion is second, or there's just not enough time for it. And you definitely do not want to be doing that. Part of having a profitable online business is going to be growing your audience. I talked about that yesterday in the previous video. And it's getting new eyes on what it is that you do. So part of that is your content. You're using content to build relationships and to lead people to the action that you'd like, whether that would be becoming your client or becoming a customer of yours. So in terms of creating content, what I noticed my most successful clients do is that they're reusing the content that they have. So for example, if they have a challenge and the challenge worked fairly well, then they will use that same challenge again. Of course, there are tweaks and adjustments and you can make it better each time, but the point is that that challenge can be run again. They don't have to start from scratch and reinvent the wheel and create something totally new every time. Same thing with the signature talk. So plenty of my clients have a signature talk that they can use, whether that is presenting in a webinar or when they do an interview, or if you're doing any in-person marketing or networking, then they'll use that there as well. And so again, they're not creating a new talk or a new presentation every time. They're getting new people to that presentation and tweaking it so that it's better every time. Absolutely the same happens for launches, for emails, for any strategies. It's almost like if it works, rinse and repeat and adjust and make it a little bit better. And I want that for you too. So what you can do is just take a look at what's working and what's not working in your business. Sometimes you're not able to see that yourself and you need someone who's more experienced to help you with that. But if you're able to identify what it is that's working, think about how you can do that again. And I don't mean necessarily do more of it. Sometimes it's repeating or reusing what you already have done. I'll give you a perfect example of something that I'm doing. So last month, actually, I believe it was in February, I had given a webinar, and it was a workshop called Simple Visibility Lessons from Behind the Scenes of Six-Figure Businesses. And it went really well. I felt very excited giving it. I got a good response. And what I'm doing now is I'm actually giving that same webinar today, and it's to a different audience. And that makes sense. So I'm going to see how that works for me and how it works for them and see if this is something that I can reuse again in the future. Now, you may be newer in your business, so you haven't really even created much content. And so you're at an earlier stage. Of course, you want to be having a freebie, so a free gift that you're using in exchange for getting people onto your email list. Now, it doesn't have to look like that in order to grow your email list. You can absolutely grow your email list by giving a webinar or workshop, by giving a challenge, and having a freebie, having interview series. There's so many different ways to grow your list. I don't want you to limit it to a freebie, but I think that that is a really good place to start in terms of creating content, knowing that that is going to help you build a list, and then you can build a relationship with those people, and it can lead to paying clients and customers for you. So that makes a lot of sense. But my message just is in terms of content, making sure that you're conscious about what it is that you're consuming, knowing that it's not always about information, it's not about needing more information. Usually it's about taking action and the right actions for your stage of business. And then also looking at the content that you created. And I'm not talking about repurposing. What I'm talking about is using it again and again and again and thinking about ways that you can get more people to it, whether that's a new audience or more eyes on it, thinking about how you can promote the content that you have. So that might be your freebie. It might be if you're blogging, getting more people to see a blog post. So thinking about how you can promote and share it every time you're blogging. So part of having a successful business is, of course, that lead generation, or it's a contact strategy. Then you need to have your building the relationship, which I really like to do on my email list or in my Facebook group. And then, of course, you're putting out the offers, and that's how you're getting paid. A lot of times, this whole getting more eyes or getting known, being visible, reaching a new audience, that's the part that can be uncomfortable. And I think that that's why we focus a lot on working with clients or creating content, those kind of safer places, but you have to remember that that goes together. That's part of the picture, and you're going to have trouble building your business if you aren't able to get seen by those people who really need you. So I encourage you to take a look in terms of either your mindset or developing a strategy around how to do that. Those are the two main areas when it comes to visibility and getting more eyes on your work that I find most of my clients need to focus on and what we do together. Okay, that is number 3 of what my most successful clients have in common and what you can do to help your own business and increase your income and your impact.